Hey there guys, Outlaw Dolphin here. We're going to continue Dragon Age Inquisition, where we have just embarked on marching the Inquisition into the Arbor Wilds, chasing Corypheus into the Temple of Mythal. Not much to be said here other than we're reaching the end to the vanilla game, the original game. Not much to do after this. Once we've completed this story, I will then go Descent DLC and then Trespasser DLC. So we've gone in order of the release. To tell you how I'm going to handle the Temple of Mythal, Solus is with me, and obviously so is Morrigan, because Morrigan has to be with you in this situation. I'm going to... The way that I want the relationship with Solus to go is that of I don't want him to like me. I want him to respect me, but I don't want him to like me going into the Trespasser DLC. So once we're in the Temple of Mythal, we're not going to exactly go anti-elf here. But we're not exactly going to be his best buddy, and we're not going to agree with him on most things. We're going to try and lean towards Morrigan, as annoying as that sounds, because I don't really like the way Morrigan talks. She's just very... Well, I have no well, you think accent, and accent comes from growing up and experiencing language in the way that she does. It's her tone, it's her... It's like kind of how Solus can talk to people sometimes, just like, haha, I'm better than you, and I know it. Morrigan is the same, Vivienne can be the same as well. But let's see how this goes. Okie dokie guys, we are rocking it with 3 mages today. We are Solus, Dorian, and Cassandra, and, well, 4 mages, because we have Morrigan here. Let's see, Empress Celine is over here, so let's have a little chit-chat with her.
Faith in your commander. We are gladdened to see you, Herald. This day will be recalled for ages. We are privileged to witness the fulfillment of the Inquisition's purpose.
The honor is mine.
The sight of our Orlesian allies risking their lives here humbles me.
Your worthy cause would have friends, even if we did not will it. Men and women of faith serve you. Their favor is no less than our own, their service no less dear. With Orlais at your side, we will see you victorious against Corypheus. May you walk in the light.
And Josephine?
Inquisitor, I hear this Eluvian lies in a temple nearby. No doubt you're departing for it now. Be safe.
I'll be back soon.
We're so close, Josephine. A few more hours and this will all be over.
Maker, let it be so. Return once you can.
Okay, so our first task is to reach the first blockade. Now I'm going to be picking up minerals all along the way. Just the Stormheart. There's some Silverite lying around, but Stormheart is what we're after today. It's a tier 3 metal, like most others, but it's abundant here in the Arbor Wilds.
Listen to how close the fighting's gotten. It will be worse ahead.
If the soldiers aren't careful with their fires, they'll do Corypheus's work for him.
I hope you're right about this temple, Morrigan. I could use a building or two.
Do the woods discomfort you, Havers?
It's mostly the people trying to cut our heads off that manage that.
I'm bringing Dorian and Solus with me because they tend to... Elgato here, it's kind of freaking out just a little bit. From past experience, it should be okay. It's got a delay of about 3 seconds, which I think is just about normal. If anything in the footage turns up, just know that it's almost unavoidable. Because sometimes the system has a bit of a mind of its own. The route that we follow into the Arbor Wilds is perhaps one of the most interesting that you'll ever really that you fight in throughout the game, because it's not so linear. There are a few ways to go about it. There are also a few dead ends as well. But I like how slowly in the fighting you learn not everything is as it seems. You'll start to realise that it's not just you out here. That there are also Grey Wardens that Corypheus keeps close by. But then there are also third or perhaps fourth party intervention going on. Not a neutral party, still pretty much an enemy, but oh, I'm addicted to Stormheart. It's a beautiful iridescent metal. I mean, because going into here you'll fight Venatori, then you'll fight Red Templars, then you'll fight Grey Wardens, and then you'll fight elves that kind of seemingly appear out of nowhere, and quite literally so. For the armor that I created here, I've used a Fade Touch. I used Fade Touch Silverite, which had the stat of generating guard when I get hit. So I generate 5 guard when I get hit. So that's not on every hit. That's on a. It's normally at the beginning of combat, and then it will wear off, and then it will restart again, moving into the next piece of combat. The stat kind of restarts. So I'm well protected, where most times I get hit for the first time, Kitty's collar will kick in and it's protected, but then the second hit that I get might generate some guard. I also have a recharging barrier. I'm pretty much a bit of a tank unless I'm fighting Red Templars. This seems to be the only thing I can't avoid that can decimate me at the moment.
Those were Grey Wardens. They must be the last of those enslaved in Adamant.
If they are forced to obey him, death will be a blessing.
Yes, unfortunately, we can't not avoid killing these Grey Wardens, as they are all I think a lot of them will be mages or warriors that were bound, or well, I don't know. A lot of them will be mages. If you see warriors, and I think has turned, and they're doing this because they want to, it's almost a mistake, as most warriors should be fighting against them. Yeah, we have an Inquisition mage on the back, being turned on the back hill. Now we shouldn't be doing too massive damage to all of our enemies today, because we don't have a rogue with us today. Just 3 mages and 1 warrior. And I'm I want to set the tactics, but I don't know if I'll find the time to do it. I want to set the tactics so that either Solus or Dorian protect Cassandra and Cassandra protects the other. But I don't know if I'll actually do that because I tend not to get in too much trouble. And I need to level everyone up. I'll do that at some point. We've already reached the first blockade. Now we're on to the second one. You can see it's fairly linear, but I know the route here.
The Red Templars.
Watch out. They've posted archers on the walls.
Shouldn't be a problem. Oh, there's one of the elves. A Sentinel Shadow is what they're called. Oh, and he literally snuck up on me. They are tough little buggers. I think they are... God, he didn't like being hit by the sword though. I think they're weak to spirit damage. That's a guess, because he's taking no damage from my lightning.
Elves! But where did they come from?
That's Solus up on the wall now. All the archers are gone. And the elves are now decimating the Templars. I think it would almost make sense if the elves were defensible to most of the magics. Fire, ice, lightning, but weak to spirit might make sense.
We're just attacked by elves.
It seems this temple of Mythal is not deserted after all.
Perhaps these creatures are the reason few return from the Arbor Wilds.
She literally just called elves creatures. So we can loot the chest here. A Master Dragon Slaying Rune. Mine. Thinking. Folded note by Captain Lowen. I don't want grumbling in the lower ranks. That our Lord Corypheus handpicked Grey Wardens to be part of his honour guard over his Templars. Our charge is not to understand his will. It is only to obey. Besides, our masters still saw he lost all but a few dozen enslaved Grey Wardens to the Inquisitor at Adamant. If your soldiers are smart, they'll keep quiet about it. Lieutenant Keldon. There we go, so we're just approaching the second blockade now. I think there are 3 on the way to the Temple of Mythal. It's just actually choke points where the fighting has reached its highest. The further you get in, the more and more elves you fight. I just want to save Inquisition soldiers wherever I can. And yet more Sentinel Shadows. Deciding not to recognise the differences between attacker and defender. They will not discriminate you from the other. Everyone is a trespasser to them. This jungle is simply stunning. I could compare it to the Frostback Basin, but also that of the Emerald Graves as well. We want to head up here, I think. Here we fight 2 behemoths. And I think these 2 mages that are up here with me are part of the rebel mages. But that's just a guess. They're not wearing any symbolage, so I think they must be just simple apostates. They chose the high ground with this behemoth, and it was the right thing to do. Now move on to the final blockade. There are puzzles going into the Temple of Mythal, and they're not the most... I don't want to say they're not the most well thought out. They quite possibly are. They're not difficult, they're just kind of glitchy, but not broken glitchy, just very sensitive. We'll find one really easy one, and I'll tell you what I mean. It's an Inquisition warrior. I am loving this helmet of Drascus that I'm wearing. It's working very well with the Battle Mage setup. I don't think it would work with the other armour I was wearing before this, but with this setup it looks absolutely amazing. Wouldn't work with most characters, but I think it works with Hasting. And the wildlife here is simply amazing as well. The Arbor Wilds is just simply that of a jungle. Now here we are at the final blockade. We just have a few forces in our way here. And we're going to join these Inquisition scouts on the wall. There seems to be one warrior in the middle of that mess down there. Like I said, I've updated everyone's armour, so everyone should be well defended. Though Solus took a few hits. I imagine that must have come from the Sentinels. If he is not immune to their damage. Simply because he's an elf himself. There we go, that Templar is done for. Pick up our final piece of Stormheart. And the Temple of Mythal, guarded by the statues of the Dreadwolf.
There. That must be the Temple of Mythal.
I hear fighting ahead.
They still think to fight us, Master.
These are but remnants. They will not keep us from the Well of Sorrows.
Well of Sorrows?
Be honored. Witness death at the hands of a new god.
How very Temple of Doom. No, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Get my Joneses mixed up. Oh my god, that's very alien. Ay ay ay.
It cannot be.
Cross the bridge, now!
Close that door. Close that door.
At last, Mathal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
You said Corypheus wanted an Eluvian, but he mentioned a Well of Sorrows. Which is right?
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
Well, that's not good.
You're not certain? You said you knew what he was looking for.
Confidence can carry one only so far, it seems.
I suspected. I did not know. Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you? Whatever the Well of Sorrows might be, Corypheus seeks it, and thus you must keep it from his grasp.
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
And... yes?
Is Corypheus immortal?
Are you certain Corypheus is using the power of the Blight to make himself immortal?
Perhaps you forget. I was in Ferelden during the Fifth Blight. I have seen a true archdemon rage. How Corypheus gained the power to send his soul into blighted bodies, that is the real question.
Will answering it help us?
Will answering that question let us destroy Corypheus for good?
Perhaps. I would suggest first dealing with the well. If Corypheus obtains it, any chance of success could be lost.
Let's continue.
As you wish.
You can stop to talk to Morrigan at different intervals. Here we are at the first puzzle. Now you're going to understand why I don't particularly want to progress with this puzzle system. We're going to ignore it and first head up these stairs.
I see the Red Templars have already encountered the temple's guardians.
And due to the nature of the boss fight here, everybody that we can loot from also resupplies all our potions.
It's sealed.
Corypheus's lackeys managed to open it. Perhaps the altar holds a clue.
Before I head back down to the altar, I just want to head on over to a particular A statue of Fen Harel. It's the first time we learn the name Fen Harel and not of Dread Wolf. The rebel god. The Dalish use Herelan to mean traitor to one's kin, but the word does not appear in any elven text before the Tower's age. The ancient root word is related to Harelen, or opposition, and Helethan, or noble struggle. The Dalish call Fen Harel a god of deception, but I posit a far more accurate translation would be god of rebellion. What he rebelled against is a story lost to time. In Dalish legends, Fen Harel seals away the other deities out of love of trickery. If we understood more ancient Elven, we might find earlier versions of the Dreadwolf's story, give him a more nuanced motivation beyond spite. From a treatise on the pagan and heretical customs of the Elven by Senelan Tavernier of the University of Orlais, commissioned by Empress Celine.
Why would this be here?
Something wrong?
It depicts the Dread Wolf, Fen Harel. In elven tales, he tricks their gods into sealing themselves away in the beyond for all time. Setting Fen Harel in Methal's greater sanctum is as blasphemous as painting Andraste naked in the chantry.
There is a lot we don't know.
You're not the final expert on these ancient things. No one can be.
There must be reason behind the mysteries. I refuse to believe we cannot tease them out.
For all your knowledge, Lady Morrigan, you cannot resist giving legend the weight of history. The wise do not mistake one for the other.
Pray tell, what meaning does our elven expert sense lurking behind this?
None we can discern by staring at it.
We can study this later.
We can send for historians once peace is brought to this forest.
The inhabitants of this temple may not appreciate guests.
Maybe not. I don't think they're going to stomach me, to Vintar, Venatori, Red Templars, nobody. These sentinels will kill any and all, so let's not give them the chance.
It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Is this Elven? Does it say anything about this Well of Sorrows?
Atishor vir Abalassan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shiven. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
Well, I wish we had more.
We're out of luck, unless one of those temple elves drops a lexicon.
Supplicants to Methal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
Perform a ritual to appease elven gods? Long dead or no, I don't like it.
If need be, unless you wish to turn back.
So you can see what I mean about this puzzle. Or, well, this one's not so much of a puzzle, but I still don't like it. One step on will light it up, one step back will turn it off. I can't remember if it's time sensitive that much. We can now progress through the door. But if we take the path of obeisance, there are 3 of these, and each one progressively gets more difficult. There is one, I think the final one, or the second to last one, is slightly imperfect in its design. And you kind of have to go back on it. Now there is a way to kind of tease it by jumping onto a wall and then walking back over some ones you've already lit, and then in order to light other ones that you couldn't. I'm gonna not take the path of obeisance here. I'm going to take the route less travelled. And Samson looks like some kind of fucked up Tony Stark. Aegis, need my shield. There are a lot of archers here. Now Samson and his troop have blown a hole past the main door. The puzzles are that way to the left. Side by side each other, and they're not really something I'm keen on doing. So we're going to follow Samson through the hole.
Come on, we might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
An army fights and dies for us. The longer we tarry, the more soldiers we lose outside. Let's jump down and be done with this place.
In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect.
You see the urgency? We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
We're here to stop Corypheus.
We don't need to reach the well first if we stop them before they find it.
Reach the well before they do and their plan is ended.
And your plan?
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once, things of might and wonder. Their passing has left us all the lesser. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
But you know nothing about it.
You barely know what the Well of Sorrows is, but you want to restore it?
Yes. Is Thedas so full of wonders that we should leave them to die one by one? Mankind blunders through the world, crushing what it does not understand. Elves, dragons, magic. The list is endless. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed.
I guessed as much.
A great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
What's this boon, and what is this price?
What exactly did that altar say about the Well of Sorrows?
Like most elven writing, it was insufferably vague. The term I deciphered was Halam Shivanas, the sweet sacrifice of duty. It implies the loss of something personal for duty's sake, yet for those who served at this temple, a worthwhile trade.
Why not tell me this earlier?
Did you not trust me enough to tell me about this price when you read it?
I hoped to find more information. If I intended to cheat you, I would have feigned ignorance entirely. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to save this well, I am willing to pay the cost.
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. The rituals may point the way.
Well, you already know my decision.
Will you abandon these rituals, Inquisitor? Think carefully. There is no return once we leap after the Templars.
In we go.
Careful. Whoever did this is waiting.
Cassandra approved, Solus greatly disapproved. Even Dorian disapproves. But like Cassandra says, there's an army out there. Cullen is out there. Liliana is out there. Now imagine anyone of the main group who's not travelling with you at this point is also fighting on the front lines. Blackwall, Varric, Cole, Vivienne and Ironball. They're all out there, in my mind, fighting against the main forces. We'll not run the risk of losing anyone to a puzzle. Puzzles I can solve, but time I don't have. The time the Inquisitor doesn't have. I can tell you that there is a reward for doing the Path of Obeisance, but only if you are an elven rogue is it really a reward, because it's a unique elven armour. And it's kind of odd to think that you can't even give Sarah to wear it, because not even the game considers Sarah to be an elf, it considers her to be human. When you try to put her in elven armour, it won't even show up on her. As far as the game is concerned, Sarah is a human, which is kind of interesting, but is kind of the truth when you think about it. She knows nothing of her heritage, she doesn't much care for it either, so why would she wear the armour if you gave it to her? Nope, a lot of big guys. When you neglect to take the Path of Obeisance, you will then fight and find a lot of obstacles in your way. There will be a lot of Templars down here, a lot of Venatori. I think the idea of the Veilfire being here will tell you there should be a rune in here. There it is. Untranslatable Elven writing. That's a codex entry. Bit of a shame, that one. Nope. Nope, I didn't want to talk to you. You just got too close. Keep the Veilfire, although I'm pretty sure we don't need it. I have no rogues to open that door. I guess we'll just follow the holes in the wall. Decimating these Templars one by one. Because obviously having Morrigan allows you to do the extra damage, although when you have fourth members of the parties like this, like Cullen, and like how we had Cullen before and we have Morrigan now, I'm not too sure how much of a difference they make to the actual damage, because they use, you know, there's no skill tree for them, and they use fairly ununique weapons. Oh, my controller disconnected. That's a shame. It's the recharge wire doesn't like my controller, it won't stay in. There we go. Hopefully we can... I'm sitting in a rather odd angle to do this, so hopefully this will work. That way. These Templar Knights, they don't exactly like fire, which is a good thing.
The Red Templars must have collapsed this. Let's find another way through.
Tis not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?
We're being watched.
Venavis, you are unlike the other invaders. You stumble down our paths at the side of one of our own. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
They are our enemies.
They are my enemies as well as yours.
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
Solus, can you talk to him?
Solus, perhaps he'll listen to you.
What shall I say, Inquisitor? Shall I sway him from a millennia of service by virtue of our shared blood? He clings to all that remains of his world, because he lacks the power to restore it.
You are actual ancient elves?
So, you're elves from ancient times? Before the Tevinter Imperium destroyed Arlathan?
The Shemlin did not destroy Arlathan. We Elven warred upon ourselves. By the time the doors to this sanctuary closed, our time was over.
Wait, that's not right. What are you saying?
You would not know truth. Shemlin history is as short as the pool of your years.
What did the Imperium do then? Are you saying it wasn't a war?
The war of carrion feasting upon a corpse, yes. We awaken only when called, and each time find the world more foreign than before. It is meaningless. We endure. The Vira Belasan must be preserved.
We've come to stop Corypheus.
We came to stop Corypheus. He's here to take your well, not I.
I do not believe you. Our duty is clear. The Vira Belasan shall not be usurped, even if I must destroy it. Masal Dinan.
No!
Morgan!
I do believe Solus tries to talk more sensitive to him if you followed the path of the petitioner. I just think I might have pissed Solus off a little bit too much for him to really try. But Solus still speaks the truth. Arbalas lacks the power to really use the well, so he simply defends it from others for as long as he can. As he tells you, he finds the world more foreign each time they awaken.
That was unnecessary. A pointless waste of life.
What else could we do?
Were we supposed to lie down and die for those elves?
I think I have truly pissed off Solus. Now Morrigan is flying through the temple, chasing after Arbalos before he has any chance to destroy the well. Arbalos knows for the first time he's fighting overwhelming odds. Not just one, but two armies are on his doorstep. And the Sentinels do not have the numbers.
Perhaps we should search about a bit.
This place is like a maze.
Be ready. These elven sentinels will know every turn.
Of course they'll know the temple better than we do. Here we have the mosaic of Sile. Sile, whose heart rivals Elganon's light. Sile, whose temples rivals Mithal's cities. Sile, whose breath rivals Andruil's spear. Sile's, whose skill rivals June's craft. Sile's, whose fire cannot be quenched. We give ourselves gladly to your service. Song of Sile, found in the Temple of Mithal. Author unknown. It's an interesting one. That way's a dead end. Lots of enemies here. Just cut my way through most of them. If you continue to if you walked the petitioner's path and you speak to Arbalos, he will then give you a guide who will show you through the gated ways of the temple. And you don't have to do any fighting, but Lord is the person you follow. Slow. Walks very slowly. Ouch, I got hit by a hammer. Never before have I neglected to do the Path of Obeisance and really fought the elves. Like, not like this, not fighting them with my spirit blade like I mean it. Kind of makes me feel really evil. Cut purse slicer, don't want that. Did we get him? There we go. But even here, these paintings on this wall are very striking. Come on, I think we're nearly there.
Well of sorrows.
So Mithal endures.
Andraste, guide us.
How has such magic lasted?
You tough bastards. A day's march, hours of fighting, and still fierce as dragons. The Chantry never knew what it was throwing away.
Samson, sir, watch out!
Inquisitor, you've got a damn long reach. You've hunted us half across Thedas. I should have guessed you'd follow us into this hole.
Maddox is dead, Samson. It's over.
I spoke with your Tranquil, Maddox. He sacrificed himself for your cause.
I told him not to. He died as one of us then. One of the faithful. Corypheus chose me twice. First as his general, now as the vessel for the Well of Sorrows. You know what's inside the well? Wisdom. The kind of wisdom that can scour a world. I give it to Corypheus, that he can walk into the Fade without your precious anchor.
You're a vessel?
What's your part in it? What's a vessel?
What else empties a well? I'll carry its power to Corypheus. One more task entrusted to me. Being force-fed Chantry lyrium was good for something. This armor makes me a living fortress, mind and body. I won't forget a word of the well's knowledge. Corypheus will be unstoppable.
He'll cast you aside.
Once Corypheus is that powerful, you and your soldiers will just slow him down.
You dare say that to my face? After you butchered my men? You're no match for Corypheus. Even if you drink from the well, you'll never master its wisdom as he could. This is the strength that Chantry tried to bind. But it's a new world now, with a new god. So, Inquisitor, how will this go?
Quick and painful.
Power is all well and good, until it's taken away.
What did you do? What did you do? The armor. It's gone. The lyrium. I need it. Kill them all.
He's such an addict. If you fight Samson without destroying the armor, this is a long and painful fight. He does have an amazing sword though. It looks like Soul Edge from the Caliber series. He still has one massive health pool though, so do not underestimate his power. Where is Samson gone? I think he's following Cassandra. Ouch. Where the hell did that Sentinel champion come from?
I'll show you, bastard. There we are.
This is going to do an awful lot of spirit damage. Now you can see how Samson just has a simple health bar. If you fought him without destroying his armor, he would not just have both. He's kind of getting taller. You would fight him, he would have both guard and a barrier, so it would be almost as though trying to kill myself. But he is getting taller. That much is true.
Those were my men!
He's very tall now. He won't last much longer. I think this is delirium starting to take control of him.
Take it from Corypheus. You mustn't.
He's still breathing.
You can take him back to Skyhold for judgment. Abeloth!
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Fool. You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
We've stopped Samson. We're done here.
Corypheus needed Samson to use the well. Without him, there's no vessel to claim it.
The moment we leave, he will send more forces to secure this place. The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor. If that power can be turned against Corypheus, can you afford not to use it?
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
I'm sorry, Abelas.
This can't be easy. Holding on to what's left.
You cannot imagine. Each time we awaken, it slips further from our grasp.
There are other places, friend, other duties. Your people yet linger.
Elven such as you?
Yes, such as I.
Our duty is all that remains. Those who drank from the Vira Balasan paid a great price, bound to the service of Mythal for eternity.
You claim Mythal was truly a god.
To you, it shall make no difference.
Defending all that was left of what once was.
And would have happily buried us in the process.
I didn't tell you to kill him.
The decision to kill Abelas was mine, Morrigan, not yours.
The elf nearly brought the walls down upon us. I did what had to be done to save something far more valuable. You'll note the intact Illuvian. I was correct on that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to travel the Fade?
You recall when I took you through my Illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, and Mythal's last Illuvian will be no more use to Corypheus than glass. I did not expect the well to feel so hungry.
And it has been a millennia since anyone passed its knowledge. I don't think it's the well that's hungry. Back away.
Don't go any closer, Morrigan.
I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
Or more likely to your own ends?
What would you know of my ends, elf?
You are a glutton drooling at the sight of a feast. You cannot be trusted.
Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
You alone have the training? You did not know this was here. You know nothing about this. What training do you have?
You alone? You're not the only mage here.
I have studied the oldest lore. I have delved into mysteries of which you could only dream. Can you honestly tell me there is anyone better suited?
Solus?
What about you, Solus?
No. Do not ask me again.
Dorian?
What about you, Dorian?
A human from Tevinter scoops up the last bits of elven knowledge? I know why you ask. I know it's important, but I can't be that man.
Well, then it's me.
I would be.
You lead the Inquisition. This is not a risk you can take. I have the best chance of making use of the well for everyone. Let me drink.
Then perhaps nobody should use it.
I hate to say it, but Abelas's plan to destroy the well may be the best one.
What happens when Corypheus comes for you again? He is immortal. The wisdom of the well may include a way to destroy him. Give me this and I fight at your side. I shall be your sword.
What does everyone else think?
Thoughts?
She is right about only one thing. We should take the power which lies in that well.
It all seems ghoulish. Let Morrigan use it, if she wants it so much.
If it is truly between you and her, then let her take the risk. Make her help us all.
Enough deliberation. Give me your decision.
I know the well's danger.
Looking at it, listening to it. That's not just knowledge from the ancient elven priests. It's their will.
How would you know such a thing?
That's what Abelas was telling us. The collective will of the priests puts anyone who drinks under a compulsion, a gas. Can't you feel it?
That would match the legends, but it does not tell us what the gas entails. I would still use the well, but you are right. We must be cautious.
I will use it.
If anyone is to use the well, it will be me.
So you will take what little knowledge you can understand and let the rest go to waste?
It won't go to waste.
And who's to say it will go to waste?
I do. Perhaps it is better this way. Do as you will with the Well of Sorrows, Inquisitor. But be careful.
Why am I here? Corypheus, a magister wishes to rip the veil open. I must learn how to stop him.
Answer me.
You will give me what I demand. Inquisitor! How do you feel?
There he is. Man of the hour.
The Illuvian!
Through the mirror.
It is done.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not.
He won't hide.
You hear it. The well speaks to you.
It's trying to.
It's voices, whispering from so far away I can barely hear them.
If only one who understood such voices had used the well's power instead.
Then we'd have to rely on her interpretation of them, and whatever she chose to tell us.
Have I not been forthcoming enough for you, Spy Master? I told you what the well could have done, Inquisitor. You should be hearing shouts from the heavens, not whispers.
That's a matter of perception. Or one's own opinion. Sometimes a whisper is a shout, and a shout is a whisper. The decision was made, Morrigan.
I have the well's power, Morrigan, not you.
Earlier you said you knew what needed to be done next. What did you mean?
The dragon isn't an archdemon. It's a dragon in which Corypheus has invested part of his power. Kill it, and his ability to jump to other bodies is disrupted for a time. He can be killed.
That's no simple task. Corypheus alone is powerful, but where there's dragon...
I need to summon Mythal.
Whatever Mythal was, goddess or myth?
There. An altar in the wilderness. That's where I need to go.
I see you are determined. So be it.
Are you certain of this?
No.
I don't think certain is the right word.
I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime.
We're gonna speak to two people before we head off. First is Josephine.
We must plan for you to fight one last duel, my darling. This time for all of us. Once you find Corypheus, I suppose we must... wait.
I'll be thinking of you every step past Skyhold.
Flattering, but You have my permission to think of your battle. Please be sure to. I hope that you'll... Maker, I wish you didn't have to go.
You'll see me again.
I'll come back from this fight alive. I swear it.
I'll take you at your word. I must attend to some tasks before you draw out our enemy. Do go before I begin to cry.
And I want to speak to Solus. I don't think he'll have anything unique for us. But it's always worth a shot. He might have opinions.
Why did you do it? I warned you not to.
Solus.
You gave yourself into the service of an ancient elven god.
Meaning?
What does that mean exactly?
You are Mythal's creature now. Everything you do, whether you know it or not, will be for her. You have given up a part of yourself.
Why does this bother you?
You don't even believe in the ancient elven gods.
I don't believe they were gods, no, but I believe that they existed. Something existed to start the legends. If not gods, then mages, or spirits, or something we've never seen. And you are bound to one of them now. I suppose it is better you have the power than Corypheus. Which leads to the next logical question. What will you do with the power of the well once Corypheus is dead?
Yikes. One thing at a time.
I won't know the answer until Corypheus is defeated.
Yet they are already asking you to answer. Restore the Chantry? Destroy the Chantry? If you do nothing, someone else will answer in your stead. Whatever you do, choose wisely. Forgive my melancholy. Corypheus has cost us much. The Temple of Mythal did not deserve such a fate. The orb he carries, and its stolen power, that at least we may still recover. With luck, some of the past may yet survive.
It sounds like you're leaving.
You planning to leave before we take down the bad guy?
No, but there may not be a later. It seemed wise to say my goodbyes now.
It's here. I can feel it.
Yes, I feel it as well.
Probably just a pile of rocks.
I'm sure it's here. Just keep an eye out.
And coming to this altar with Sarah and Bull, as well as Solus, because I still need Solus for his probable... I don't think he'll be talking much in this one, but there will be a fight, and I do need Bull and Sarah for it. Well, I don't need them, but I chose to bring them.
This is all that's left of the altar. We few who travel far, call to me, and I will come. Without mercy, without fear.
Cry havoc in the moonlight. Let the fire of vengeance burn. The cause is clear. A very old invocation. Perfectly translated.
I know what this place is.
Strange that there wasn't an altar like this at Mythal's temple. The temple was a place of justice, but this is different. This was where the elves called to her, spoke to her. Then one day she disappeared and they had no one to speak to.
You want us to piss off so you can get to it?
Don't go too far. I may need your help if there's trouble.
You will perform this mysterious summoning alone, Inquisitor? Very bold.
Alone means without you.
That means you also need to leave.
And do you even know what manner of creature will answer your call?
The voices say it will be Mythal.
And what is Mythal, beyond something thousands of years dead and gone?
They say you can remain.
How very hospitable of them.
You know who I am. The last to drink from your well of sorrows. Come to me, Mythal. Whatever you are, whoever remains, I invoke your name and your power.
Well, hello.
Mother.
Wasn't expecting you.
Now, isn't this a surprise?
This is Mythal.
So this is Mythal.
She is a deceiving witch!
Be a good lad and restrain her.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Of course you know. You drank from the well, did you not?
Then you are Mythal?
It's true, you're not even an elf. But I welcome you.
If that's true, then I thank you for answering my summons.
You see, girl, those are manners, as you require a demonstration.
I do not understand. How can you be Mythal?
Once I was but a woman, crying out in the lonely darkness for justice. And she came to me, a wisp of an ancient being, and she granted me all I wanted and more. I have carried Mythal through the ages ever since, seeking the justice denied to her.
She's a part of you?
Then you carry Mythal inside you?
She is a part of me, no more separate than your heart from your chest. What do the voices tell you?
They say you speak the truth.
But what was Mythal? A legend given name and called a god? Or something more? Truth is not the end, but a beginning. A herald indeed, shouting to the heavens, harbinger of a new age. As for me, I have had many names, but you may call me Flemeth.
Why stay secret?
If Mythal is within you, why not reveal yourself?
And to whom should I reveal myself?
To the elves, to everyone.
I knew the hearts of men even before Mythal came to me. It is why she came to me. They do not want the truth, and I am but a shadow, lingering in the sun.
Will you help us?
We summoned you because we need your help.
Against the Magister who grasps beyond his reach. Yes, I know. The voices did not lie, Inquisitor. I can help you. The altar's guardian will come. Master the dragon, and it will be yours to command against Corypheus. Fail and die.
I nary fail against the dragon.
Wait!
I wish to see who drank from the Well of Sorrows. It has been a very long time. Now I have, and he is free to go.
But what of us?
A soul is not forced upon the unwilling, Morrigan. You were never in danger from me.
All things considered, Inquisitor, I now am rather pleased you drank from the well.
I hope this was worth it.
All this had better be worth it.
You will discover that shortly, I suspect.
Now ain't that just the most butch dragon? The Guardian of Mythal. Let's pray I don't get tail whipped as I do this. Now, depending on what I did here, I wasn't too sure. So I counted the hissing waste as the last dragon I would be fighting, but there was still one more. But you don't really kill this dragon. Does he have four? Yes, he does. You only have to get this dragon down to half health, I believe. You have to master it, not kill it. BioWare don't really give you the opportunity to do that. Ouch. I walked right into that one. He is a fire dragon and he is a tough little bastard. I'm not prepared for him at all, in fact. But it should make little difference. I still have my defences, so not too much of a bother, except because the camera is a little bit glitched for this fight. It's not in its normal position. It should have expanded outwards and I should be able to see him more clearly. I can't read all of his attacks like I would normally like to. But it's hardly an excuse to fail against him. We still are a Knight Enchanter. I still have the ability to use cold attacks. Look at the vents on his neck. I mastered a dragon.
Yeah, that was impressive.
It will come when I summon it. Once. That's enough to fight Corypheus, however. I have my dragon.
Now we need only find Corypheus.
That could be the hardest task of all. So now that we're here back in Skyhold, we're going to speak with the room advisors in the war room about the next step. There are a few things I still haven't done going into this. I've not done Liliana's side quest that can help her either become or not become divine. I have not chosen to support Cassandra in her route to become divine, nor Vivienne. Now the game will kind of default to Liliana in any event that none have been chosen. I'm not too bothered about who does. I've not seen much difference in what these people do, but I'm kind of leaving it to the game to decide what happens there. I don't want to become too involved in it. Some things I just want to leave to a bit of a raffle, even though I already know it's probably going to be Liliana.
Was the summoning successful, Inquisitor?
You wouldn't believe me.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
But you found what you needed.
I did.
Then all that remains is to find Corypheus before he comes to us.
We've been looking for his base since all this began, with no success.
His dragon must come and go from somewhere.
Oh, what about the deep roads? We could send word to Orson, hire envoys to...
You were searching high and low, but you didn't think to look back home.
Corypheus.
He did that? But why?
Either I close the breach again, or it swallows the world.
But that's Magnus. Wouldn't it kill him as well?
Inquisitor, we have no forces to send with you. We must wait for them to return from the Arbor Wilds.
No, I must go now.
I must go now, before it's too late.
Tell me, where is your maker now? Call him. Call down his wrath upon me. You cannot, for he does not exist. I am Corypheus. I shall deliver you from this lie in which you linger. Bow before your new god and be spared.
Never!
As you wish. I knew you would come.
It ends here, Corypheus.
And so it shall. You have been most successful in foiling my plans, but let us not forget what you are. A thief in the wrong place at the wrong time, an interloper, a gnat. We shall prove here, once and for all, which of us is worthy of godhood.
And the Maker is with me.
I'm the Maker's chosen.
dragon, how clever of you. It will avail you nothing. A dragon, how clever of you.
Sorry about that, had a small error.
Nothing. You will fall as a warning to those who oppose.
At least the game auto-saved in a relatively simple position.
I will not stand for this outrage.
Oh.
Feel my wrath. You think to best me with your feeble magics? You are nothing. All you love will be ground under the Imperium's heel.
And what will you do with the Imperium's heel, Corypheus?
As you wish.
Cole. Yeah, it is unfortunate that Corypheus is a moving target. I bring in Cole along for the idea that he will struggle in this fight. Corypheus' barrier should have trouble against me though. Should go and pick up Cole, but he'll turn up at... there he is. Blimey, that dragon fight is pretty darn mean. Come on, Corypheus, if so powerful you are, why leave?
Feel my wrath.
Feel mine.
As you wish.
It's almost like we're having a conversation.
Enough! I will destroy you where you stand.
Heads up. This is the second half of the dragon fight we had earlier. The Guardian of Mythal has done its job. I do believe it passes after this fight. It doesn't survive the fight, but now it's done its job, and we just need to finish it. How dare this thing summon a guard though? It's a good job it can't summon minions, so I would hate to see what those look like. Bring him down. I didn't think that would work, and I don't think it did. Oh, that got him. Seriously, so close to the end of his health. How dare he summon a guard? End him.
Let it end here! Let the skies boil! Let the world be rent asunder!
Corypheus is a bit like Voldemort. And it's like we just destroyed his last Horcrux.
No, I will not allow you this victory. You and all the heathen barbarians shall burn.
Where it all began. It's at this very point where he held divine Justinia for the sacrifice that created the mark on my hand. It's only fitting that this be the point where we defeat him once and for all. To avenge Stroud, to do what Hawk could not. Avenge Justinia and everyone who died in the Conclave, all those he slain at Haven. A lot of revenging to be done here. I don't want to fall off the edge here. I don't think I even can. Lord knows my Fade Step would find a way. Solus can't summon... Oh, hello. Not much longer for Corypheus now.
Not like this. I have walked the halls of the Golden City, crossed the ages. Do not, ancient ones, I beseech you. If you exist, if you ever truly existed, aid me now.
This is mine. Now. You want to enter the Fade so badly?
You wanted into the Fade.
Brace yourself for a hard landing.
Solus,
the orb.
It can't be repaired? We won.
Are you sure? We could take the pieces. Try to.
That would not recover what has been lost.
There's more, isn't there?
It was not supposed to happen this way. No matter what comes. I want you to know you shall always have my respect.
Inquisitor, are you alive?
Then it's over. How lovely.
And the sky is healed, healthy, whole. There's just that left to remember.
Looks that way.
What do we do now?
We go back to Skyhold.
A moment, my lord. My agents have found no trace of Solus. He has simply vanished. If he does not wish to be found, there's likely nothing we can do. But I will keep looking.
It's just so strange.
It's odd that he would just leave without a word.
You said he was upset about the orb.
That can't be the only reason.
Now that Corypheus has been defeated, we have a moment to stop and celebrate. Afterwards, you will be busy. Every noble in southern Thedas is clamoring to meet you.
Now they're eager.
Oh, now they're lining up to meet me.
Such is the way of things. Previously, you were an upstart. A mage of all things, leading rebels and heretics. Until Corypheus revealed himself, they could not see the single hand behind the chaos. Once he did, they knew. A Magister and a Darkspawn in one creature. The ultimate evil. Now you are the only power left standing. Enjoy the evening while you can, Inquisitor.
So this is the end of the original story. What's next for us lies in the deep roads and at Halam Shiral. We're nearly at the end of this, guys. And I need to end this video at some point. But first we must speak to Josephine.
Ugh, I should never have hired a new caterer so late.
Leave it be, Josie. Everything's fine.
It is not! I'm so sorry, nothing's quite as it should be. Oh, do you like the drinks? I'm not sure about them.
If I told you the port was a little dry, would you burst into flame?
You're joking, yes? Please tell me you're joking. What a disaster. So I was late, the invitations to our guests barely went out at all, and it was so wonderful to prepare for a small banquet instead of the end of the world. Do you know what everyone is talking about tonight, from commoners to kings? Us. Thedas is discussing the success of the Inquisition.
Bragging from you?
Are you descending into open boasting, Lady Montilier?
I can scarcely think of a better time. Truly, we will never forget those we lost. But for tonight, to victory.
May I join you? I wanted to catch you. The celebrations appear to be winding down with the sunrise. I've never witnessed such a lovely sight.
Nor I.
Sometimes your words are so sweet, they ache.
That's love.
That's you. It's been good to have this celebration, free of what the future holds. Whatever awaits us, my lord, I know only one thing. I would never have you face it alone.
Tis said that Corypheus woke after his long slumber and found the world gone awry. He fought to bring back those days of magic and shadow, to raise himself as a god and set things right. Now, we are left with a scar in the sky to remind us of what almost was. It tells us that a great victory against chaos was won, but left the world forever changed. Consider the mighty empire of Orlais, where Empress Celine remains on her golden throne. The civil war is ended and order finally restored. The Empress is unchallenged. But at what price? Blood drips from Celine's hands, and all her court know it. However, none are in a position to move against her. The Empire's ties to the Inquisition remain strong, both sides benefiting from the ongoing relationship. Some resent this, calling Celine the Inquisitor's puppet, though they do not do so openly. Orlais prospers, and soon forgets that it could very easily have been otherwise. The Grey Wardens of the South slowly rebuild in the months following the events at Adamant. They declare it time for the Order to emerge from the shadows, to join the rest of humanity in fighting their ancient foes. Rumors abound that they severed ties with their leaders at Weishaupt, and that a bitter war now rages between them. What becomes of Hawke is unknown, save that all news out of Weishaupt soon ends. Does the sudden silence indicate a battle within, or something far worse? 1 month after the defeat of Corypheus, the Chantry names Leliana as successor to the Sunburst throne. Given the name Divine Victoria, she first declares an end to the Circle of Magi. The Mages will now govern themselves. She opens the priesthood to other races, declares support for the Inquisition, and rededicates the Chantry to the principle of charity. Divine Victoria is controversial from the start. Several new sects arise, resisting her reforms and declaring her rule a threat to the faith. She does not fight them, and it is not long before the Chantry's fractures threaten to tear it apart forever. The Inquisition's mages, the former rebels led by Grand Enchanter Fiona, are left with a choice. When Leliana disbands the circles, they leave the Inquisition and reform the College of Enchanters as a new order. The college, they say, will allow mages of the South to gather in peace and seek new solutions to age-old problems. For the moment, it appears to be working. Mages are enjoying unprecedented acceptance throughout Thedas. And what of the Inquisition itself? It has eyes and ears in every hall. No secrets are beyond its reach, and that knowledge has become the source of its power. I leave Skyhold now, knowing that power will continue to grow. The Inquisitor is a symbol to many, a leader of the changing world order. To others, he has become a target. They linger in the shadows, waiting for their day to come. When it does, the Inquisition shall stand ready.
I knew you would come. You should not have given your orb to Corypheus, Red Wolf.
I was too weak to unlock it after my slumber. The failure was mine. I should pay the price. But the people... they need me. I am so sorry.
I am sorry as well, old friend.
There we go, guys, that's the end of that Dragon Age Inquisition, and marks the end of the main story. But not the Inquisitor's story. We still have much more to do in the 2 remaining DLCs to come. We've defeated Corypheus and sealed the Fade. We've saved the world. Seemingly so. For now. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. In the Deep Roads.